Grace. We'll be doing a 1 hour warrior flow practice today with a focus on balancing the yin and the yang within us, without us, as we move through the day, honoring both those principles of inward and outward, masculine and feminine, and balancing it all together. And so I invite you to gently close your eyes and begin to bring your awareness inward into the self, that inner kingdom, that eternal true nature that dwells within, can never be threatened. You can never lose this infinite self. And beginning to breathe into the lower belly, into the abdomen, the lower abdomen. And as you inhale, you'll feel that belly expand away from the spine. And as you exhale, you can feel it come in towards the spine. Nice deep belly breaths. You'll be activating the relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system. So our bodies, minds, brains, muscles, everything can relax. And we can find deeper and deeper states of peace on all levels of our being. And this is a little bit more tapas, a little effort-based practice. It's not going to be a hard practice by any means. It's a power yoga, but a little more effort than a yin class. So I invite you to at any time as we hold the poses, we'll probably holding about 3 seconds, and if that's a little too long for you, then feel free to come out. And if any time you can just sit in child's pose, seated pose, standing pose, and come out of a pose at any time. And you can also hold the pose longer if you like. This is your practice. Honoring yourself at all times. We like to play the edge in our practice. And so when we play the edge, we're not going to be, totally couch potatoing it today, for this hour. And we're not going to be triathloning it. We're not going to be pushing hard either. We're going to stay in about that 7 range where we're feeling an edge, we're feeling a little stretch of the muscles and opening the body. Never any pain. So if you experience pain, always back up. This is a feel so good practice. And as you're continuing to breathe into the belly, just do an overall check inside, just scanning the inner being, just noticing what's there, becoming familiar, stretching and using that muscle of bringing the attention inward, maybe noticing the heart beating or any sensations or vibrations, noticing the emotional landscape, never judging, never pushing anything away. And we don't even need to title or describe. We want to just bask in this felt sense of our being, just basking in the felt sense. Giving ourselves permission to just bask in our own nectar and just feel our inner aliveness, connect lovingly with it. Sensing an expansiveness as you dive in and connect to that felt sense, that presence. Maybe even a joy, an ecstasy, or a deep sense of peace or calm. Maybe spaciousness, emptiness, stillness. Taking this time to be fully and wholly and completely with yourself. Nothing else exists but you and the presence that is you within you. And if your torso begins to move a little, allow it. It sways a little. The Sushumna Nadi sometimes moves the spine because the energy is flowing so intensely. You can gently engage your Mula Bandha. Your Mula Bandha is your pelvic floor. It's those same Kegel muscles, but we're not going to be clenching them like in the Kegels where you really tighten them up. We're going to be gently engaging that bandha. And as we gently engage it in a gentle way, not a clench, we seal the energy into the body. So nothing out as we go through the practice. As we move in these poses and we build the prana, the life force within our being, we're sealing it in by engaging that Mula Bandha. And we're going to feel upward lifting sensation in that Mula Bandha. So we're not only gently engaging it, but we're feeling a lift of the pelvic floor. Gently lift. It's very nice, something that you can hold during the day at any time, but we invite you to hold this Mula Bandha throughout the entire practice. And then there's two other bandhas that we'll be practicing. We are Mala Bandha, but we're going to practice all three as often as we can throughout the practice with a constant attention on that Mula Bandha. That'll always be engaged. So the second bandha is the Uddiyana Bandha, and that is right here at the hara, right around the navel, belly button. And we're just going to engage that gently and bring it up. We're still going to breathe into that lower belly because that Uddiyana Bandha has lifted up now. It's above the belly button and it's engaged just gently, slightly like the Mula Bandha. We're not sucking it in or clenching anyway. It's just a gentle lift and a gentle engagement. And now that brings that Mula Bandha right up here, just above the navel, because we've lifted it up and it's engaged. And then our third bandha is the Jarandala Bandha, and that's our chin. Comes in just slightly. Tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And so we hold these three bandhas. I'm aware of them throughout the practice. These are the three seals. They seal the energy in. Each one is a seal. They could be called energy locks or energy seals. So as we do engage these, as we move through the practice, and it gets easier and easier as you practice, you are going to be containing the energy and nothing is going to be being leaked out or lost. And this is very important during the yoga practice so that we can build the vitality and the health and the well-being and the deeper inner connection to our source and Brahman, the inner self, the true nature. And so I invite you to set an intention and set that into your consciousness now, into that fertile consciousness, setting that seed in, knowing that you're going to be watering it with some more attention, maybe today or maybe at any time through the practice. As we set that intention, setting it in that fertile soil of our consciousness. It may not even be anything that's said into words. It may just be a picture you put into your consciousness. Beautiful picture that you like to create. And sending that off with a this or better, and gently coming back, opening the eyes. Beautiful job. We're going to do a few neck rolls, so just very gently rolling the neck. You can go to one side, the other, and then just start gently rolling it. We're going to take our time. We're going to notice sensation in our neck. Bring some life and attention and embodiment into the neck as we just very slowly move it around. And if there's any spot you want to stay on a little longer or rock back and forth gently and massage, you're always welcome to do that. We're going to engage the bandhas. We're going to bring all our focused attention to the sensation in the neck as we roll the neck, and we're going to breathe into the belly. And we're going to go the other direction with our neck, nice and slow still, gentle, bringing that life force and aliveness into our neck. Fully immerse your attention into the sensation in your neck. Don't be distracted by anything external, even a cat. Basking in the nectar of the sensation. Coming back to center, just shaking the shoulders out a little, allowing the head to shake out and the torso, just loosening up the body. Just gentle shaking, so the body can move. Letting the shoulders move, the arms move a little bit, and the head. Just keeping open, shaking off any resistance or any rigidity in your body. You can shake out the hand and arms. And we're going to move into our pelvic rocks. We're going to be making big circles, pelvic circles, let's call them, around the body, the torso. So we're going to take the torso and we're going to be making circles around the pelvis. We're going to be circling. And it feels really good. And as you come back, you can allow the back to lunge back a little, like almost a cat. We'll be going into that. Noticing sensations, engaging those bandhas gently, bringing the prana into the body as you bask and nectar into the nectar and breathe. And that's the other direction. Beautiful. And coming back to, we move into our cat cows. So as we move into our cow, we're going to arch the back, open the chest, bring the shoulders back, and the head's going to gaze up slightly. We're just in a line with the spine. Nice arched back. And then exhaling, we're going to tuck that tailbone under, bring that spine like a Halloween cat, arching up. Head is looking in toward the belly and the thighs. Just moving back and forth into your extension as your cow. Tailbone is out. Lumbar is arched. Shoulders are back. Shoulder blades are coming together. Heart is open. Chin is up. You're gazing up towards the heavens, towards the light, towards the sun. This is our yang. We're in our yang pose. We're open. Heart is wide open. We're shining our light out into the world without any restriction, just shining it out. And then as we exhale, we're going to tuck that tailbone under. We're going to allow the shoulders to come forward. We're going to bring the head to gaze, start to gaze in towards the face. The spine is moving into flexion now. So the spine is rounded up back behind us. And we're going to move into the yin, the balance, the time when we're just completely alone with ourselves. All our love, all our power, all our energy is going in towards ourself. Engaging those bandhas, and I invite you to take a few deep breaths in your cat as you go inward in towards your own inner kingdom, your own sacred embodiment. How deep can you be with yourself? And inhale as we move into our cow. And here we are in our cow. Our heart is wide open. Our love is infinite, infinitely resourcing from that deep inner well that we are. Opening the heart. We're in the yang now. You engage those bandhas to breathe and rest in this yang pose where we can shine our light. We can express our gifts, our talents, our wisdom out into the world bravely empowered. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. And relaxing, coming back to center. Beautiful job. We have Xander here with us now. This is so nice. So before we stand up and disturb Xander, I want you to go into the jaw and the mouth and the face and just begin to relax the face and the jaw and the chin. Just move things around. Maybe even make it wide and then just do some things to really stretch it out. You can bring the head into it. Just loosening up. Even the eyes, you can open them wide and then close them. To get that face connected and loose along with the body. I feel sad, Zandy, but I'm going to have to disrupt you from your comfort. We will snuggle later today for sure. So let me introduce Xander briefly. Xander is John's cat. And when John passed, I inherited Xander from John. So Xander's a very special cat. John is the inspiration for ecstatic yoga. He asked me about a week before he passed as we were hiking up Mount Olympus if I would open up my ecstatic yoga school so he could become a yoga instructor in my lineage. And after he passed, one of the first things I did was get my yoga, the Ecstatic Yoga School, registered with Yoga Alliance. And we've already had our first spring yoga teacher training, 15 amazing individuals. You have to check them out at the website. And we have a fall 2022 teacher training coming up if you're interested. And we also have online classes. So coming to a standing position, let's just shake the body out and do some twists. We're going to be moving into our warrior flow. Bring the body up a little bit as you shake and you twist. Let's do a couple connecting our right and left brain, bringing some attention to Ida and Pingala Nadi by doing a little bit of cross wiring, getting that right and left brain connected. So first thing we could do is we take the right arm to the left elbow, left arm to the right elbow. And just simply doing this begins to create more connection between the right and left brain, the creative and the logical. And we want a strong connection between both. We want the yin and the yang to be very connected and very harmonious and very unified. And another would be we can touch our knees. Hi, Sandy. He wants to be petted. Touching your knees. And just continuing to crisscross those knees. And then you can bring the elbow into it if you like. A little bit more effort in the elbow to the knee. But we're still connecting that sun, moon, that masculine and feminine, that winter, summer. Winter is the yin. Summer is the yang. And then let's do our feet here. So we'll take last one. We're really focusing today on that yin and that yang. That yin is a more inward energy and coming back to center. And the yang is more outward energy. And it's been called, yin has been called more feminine and yang has been called more masculine. Yin is kind of like the womb, when you're in the womb, and then birth is the yang, the creation of it. And so there's a lot of different ways to express it, but we want to have both sides very balanced or harmonious. We want to be in the middle so we can resource either one. If we're too yang in our life or too yin in our life, which is okay. There's a lot of people who are very yin and a lot of people who are very yang, and that's okay. Because sometimes they need that as like an artist who's always immersed in their art. They're always in their more creative, spontaneous part of their being. And then to add where you can also take care of your business and do what you need to do and step into some sense of the yang, the expression, the balance of both creates a very rich life and a very rich human being. So that front foot is 90 degrees pointing towards the front. We're going to be moving into a yang pose, a sun pose, a more effort pose. The knees right over the ankle. We're moving into Virabhadrasana 2. Arms are out to the side, both about the same height, parallel to the floor. Back foot is about 30 degrees. The heels either going through the arch of the foot or the heels are aligned. And the torso straight, it's facing me. We're not leaning forward in Warrior One, in this Warrior One at least. And we're going to turn our head and gaze out over those right fingertips. And bringing that knee back over the ankle. We're going to engage all those bandhas now. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha. Navel comes up and in, slightly engaged. Jarandala Bandha, chin comes in a little and tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And let's, easy, Let's bring the prana and the life force in as we breathe, gazing out forward, standing in our yang, standing in that empowered space, that sun where we're shining our light confidently out into the world. And breathe. On your next exhale, we're going to drop the back arm to the back leg. We're going to reach the front arm up. We're going to move into our yin. And if you'd like to straighten that front leg, you can. Keep a little micro bend. We don't want to lock the knee. Open the heart. Keep the heart open. And we're opening up our heart. It seems yang, but we're in our yin. We're in the feminine. We're just surrendering to this feminine energy. Surrendering to the heart opening. We're surrendering to whatever arises in the moment. And we're just receiving in this pose. First, warrior, answer, and breathe. One more deep breath. Beautiful. And we're going to come up. We're going to bring that knee back over the ankle. We're going to move into a more yang pose, side angle. We're going to swoop the front arm to very gently rest on this front thigh. Back arm is going to come up alongside the body, and the fingers are going to extend out. The line of energy is from the back foot out and up the extended fingertips. We're going to engage those bandhas, and we're going to breathe as we stand in this summer energy, this ability to be open to the world. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Beautiful. And on your next exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg. It's where we can use a block if you like. And we're going to bring that right hand right beside the right ankle. Legs are straight but not locked. We're going to bring that left arm up. The shoulders are going to stack. And we're going to engage those bandhas. And we're going to breathe and move into your yang energy. Again, opening the heart, shining forth into the world, standing in your power, not allowing anything external to disempower you or turn down your light. You're open. Inhaling, reaching those fingers up. Exhaling, bringing that left hand down to the block. Let's take that back foot and let's rotate it so it's 90 degrees, so it's parallel to the front foot. And we're going to take that right arm, and we're going to twist our body. So you're going to be looking away from me as you raise the right arm up. And we're going to engage the bandhas, and we're going to move now into the yin, where we're just receptive and we're completely bringing our energy inward to ourself. The winter, time to hibernate. Inhaling, reaching the hand up, and exhaling that hand down. Bringing both hands, you can use a block, either side of the front foot. We're going to move into Parvastanasana, our pyramid, bringing the head and the chest in towards the front leg, moving into the yin, the womb, the hibernation, the silent stillness, engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe in our pyramid, going in. Respecting those inward times and those inward experiences and those inward expressions in our life, in ourselves, honoring those times. And gently coming up. And we're going to bring that foot back to 30 degrees if you haven't, 30 or 40 degrees. We're going to be moving into our warrior one. So we're going to bring that knee so it's right over the ankle. Engage this, the back knee can bend a little bit and the thighs engaging in towards each other as you lift up your torso. Makes it a little easier. And as we're here in this pose, and if you need to narrow your stance, that's okay. Some people like to drop down to their knee for this. If you need to make any modifications, first thing I'd like to do in this pose right now is square those hips. So my left leg is back. I'm going to bring that left hip back, and that often takes my knee out of alignment. So I'm going to bring the knee back over the ankle. Kind of adjust the two of these. They might slip out as I go. So I have these two alignments. This is a yang pose. We're going to engage the bandhas. We're going to bring the arms up. Shoulders are going to drop down and relax away from the ears. Engaging all the bandhas and standing in your power in warrior one. Choosing moment to moment. Do I want to be in victim or do I want to choose empowerment? Always available. Breathing and asking yourself that question. One more deep breath, inhaling up and exhaling. Let's release the hands. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. So I'm going to invite you to bring back foot up. So in a nice relaxed standing position. And with this pose, you can use a chair. I have a chair right here. I like this little chair. It's good modification. So with this, you could have this to help you balance as you move. You can also bring your arms out to the side in this pose, which I prefer. Some people like to bring them back, but mostly people bring them forward. Sometimes I just feel a little stress in my low back when I bring them all the way forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our feet like this. Beautiful job. And we're going to lunge a little forward so all the weight is in this standing leg. So I'm on my right leg here. All my weight, all my energy is in the right standing leg. Very little weight on this left leg. And then we're going to begin to hinge forward, bringing that back left leg up. You can bring those hands to that prop if you have it. You can bring them out to the sides, or you can bring them forward. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. And releasing down. Beautiful job. Coming to center. It's a nice balance. Bringing the legs out wide. Feeling those feet rooting into the earth, and we're going to move into our 5-pointed star. So all the energy is going to be coming from the solar plexus. That's our yang place. It's coming up the core of the body and out the extended fingertips. So we're in our yang. We're in our time to do, put into action, perform, be out there shining our light as a star. We're going to engage those bandhas, and we're going to bring in the prana as we stand in our star, that yang energy. One more deep breath. And releasing the hands to the hips. Beautiful job. We're going to bring those heels in. We're going to adjust our foundation. Our foundation is what's connected to the earth. So we're adjusting that foundation. We always like to work on the foundation first. So the foundation is set. Both feet, toes are pointing out towards the corners of the mat. I call them froggy feet because now we're going to bend the knees, and the knees are going to go over the feet. So start to kind of feel like a frog, but we're actually a goddess. We're moving into goddess squat. So we'll move and find your squat. Before we bring the arms up, kind of find where you want your squat to be, because we're going to be taking a few deep breaths here. And then bring your arms up, and those hands can point outward to the world as you shine, but this is a yin pose. So I invite you for this practice today to bring those hands in towards yourself. We're going to engage those bandhas, and we're going to be sending our own heart love. Send that love into yourself through your hands, through your heart, through your words of affirmation. Engaging those bandhas, and breathe. Fierce self-love. Receive. One more deep breath as you send your self-love and receive that self-love in this yin goddess pose. Beautiful. And coming up. Beautiful job, beautiful yang experience. Bringing the hands to the hips. You can keep the feet the same way they are. We're going to go into wide leg forward fold. So the first thing you're going to do is stick that tailbone out. Stick that tailbone out before you hinge forward. Really protects that lower back. We want to protect the body. So we're just as limber now as when we're 102. Begin to hinge forward at the hips. Only my hips and my lips are moving, but your hips should be the only thing moving. Hinging down, the spine is straight. And then find your edge. The back leg muscles are going to say that's comfortable. That's a feel so good spot. And then allow the spine to round. Bring the hands down to a block if you need, or the floor. I do a lot of yoga out in nature, so I don't use many props. And breathe. You can bend your knees if you can't reach the floor and you don't have a block. You can come down to rest a little on the earth. And breathe. Nice inversion. If you'd like to go to one foot at a time, giving it a little stretch. Keeping that breath flowing through the belly, keeping the energy inward. We're in our yang. Again, just bringing the energy into ourselves as you engage those bandhas. Let that energy contain and expand and build inside of you. And going to the other side, keeping that energy all directed inward in our yin. Coming back to center, taking one last deep breath to be inward. Be with yourself. This one deep breath is completely with yourself as you can. And inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the heart, bring the hands back to the hips and coming all the way back up. Beautiful job, beautiful job. We're going to go to the other side and repeat that. Complete our warrior flow by balancing ourselves off by going to the other side. So I have my left foot front now. I have a lot of Xander here on me. Always. Back thigh is engaged. Knees right over the ankle. We can bring it behind the ankle, but try not to bring it forward because that puts pressure on the knee that we don't need. We don't want to risk our knees. We want our knees as healthy now as when we're 102. And we're going to take the hips and we're going to square the hips. And find your your stance, how far apart you want your feet, where that feels good for you. And then engaging that knee over the ankle, hips square, arms come up. Oh, we're moving into warrior two, I'm sorry. Now bring the hips facing me. Forget the squaring. Apologize. Going to bring the arms out to the sides. You're facing me, engaging those bandhas. And let's breathe. Turning the head to gaze out over the left fingertips. And now we're into our Virabhadrasana 2. This is our yang pose, where the energy is coming from the solar plexus up the core of the body and out the front fingertips. As you engage the bandhas and you just imagine that line of energy as an empowered warrior, bringing forth energy out your fingertips, manifesting, making a difference. And breathe. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to drop the back hand to the back leg. Hello, Zandy. And we're going to move into our goddess or our goddess dancer or our reversed warrior. You can have that knee still bent or you can open up that leg if you want because we're kind of making a variation here. We're opening up, but we're in the yin. We're receiving now. We're just in our yang, so the energy is coming from our heart. It's going up and out the extended fingertips. Just breathe into that and just receive not needing to give out or extend any energy, just receiving. You can say thank you, thank you, thank you. One more nice deep breath. Beautiful. We're going to move right into our side angles. So the front knee is going to be back right over the ankle. Front arm is going to rest gently on that front thigh. Back arm is going to come up alongside the body into a nice side angle. Not a lot of weight here. Line of energies from the back foot up alongside the body, out the extended fingertips. We're going to engage those bandhas, and we're going to bring in the prana as we rest in our yang energy, whatever that is for you right now. One more deep breath. And on the exhale, we're going to straighten that leg. And you can come down to a block or to the earth. Bring that left hand, left ankle, a little behind. I'm a little behind the left ankle. Arms are stacked. Legs are straight but not locked. Heart is open. We're going to engage those bandhas and we're going to breathe. And we're going to breathe into, and I'm going to invite you through this triangle to go back and forth and experience some yin and yang throughout the breath and throughout the same pose. In this pose, when I inhale, I like to go into my yin and just receive and be open and surrender. And as I exhale, I'm extending forth that which the divine extension of my soul wants to extend forth in love and beauty and grace. One more inhale as we inhale the divine light, receiving that divine grace, and we exhale, bringing the arm down as we're releasing and extending the love. Let's bring a hand to either side of the front foot or the blocks. Bring that back foot so it's 90 degrees. That right arm is rooted into the earth or the block. And we're going to twist away from me as we lift the left arm up into a revolved trikonasana. Revolved triangle. Engage those bandhas and breathe, and moving back between inhaling in that yin receptive energy and exhaling out that divine love or that divine extension and expression of your soul. One more breath, inhaling, reaching those fingertips up, opening to receive the gratitude, and exhaling as you bring the arm down, extending that love with an I love you, and adjusting that back foot if you like to 30 or 40, and we're just going to surrender into our beautiful pyramid pose. Taking a few breaths here as we engage those bandhas, really diving into the yin, connecting as lovingly and intimately with the self as you can in these next few breaths. Nothing else exists. There's no external world. There's only you and the self, that which is aware within you. One more breath. Beautiful. And we're going to move into our Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So we're going to move coming up. If you want to come up slowly, take a little micro bend in the back knee. Squeeze those thighs together and then just hinge the torso up. So you come up into Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. We're going to square those hips. We're going to bring the knee right over the ankle. Arms are going to come up, engaging those bandhas. Shoulders drop down. You can feel the shoulder blades coming together slightly. Back thighs engaged. Engaging those bandhas and move into the yang. Expressing out your love, your gifts, out into the world maximally as that yang energy. Engaging the bandhas and let's breathe. One more deep breath, allowing the light within you to shine like a lighthouse in all directions, maximally. Beautiful. And then dropping the arms to the side. We're going to move that back foot up a little bit. So we're in a nice comfortable stance now, nice and relaxed. And we're going to slowly go into our warrior. Remember, we can have a chair in front of us. You can hold on to a wall if you like. If you want to just hold on to a wall, rest your hand as we go to the side. You can bring the arms out in balance if you've experienced in this. So we're moving into Warrior 3. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to hinge forward. We're going to bring all our weight onto that left standing leg. Imagining that's a solid tree trunk, the roots deep into the earth. Very little weight on this back leg, the right leg. And we're going to begin to hinge forward and bring the arms out in front or to the side. Back leg comes up. Find a dristi, something to gaze at, and breathe. Engage the bandhas and breathe. And coming down. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. And then we're just going to face forward. We're going to clasp the hands behind us and move into a standing yoga mudra to bring us down onto the floor. It was a beautiful effort-based practice, built up some tapas. We're going to slow it down now and do just a little rolling around on the floor, do some releases, and go into Savasana. So as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward, bring the arms up to the sky, drop the head. And take this time to honor the heart and rest in that yin energy. Rest in your own heart. Honoring your own heart, your own self. Deep belly breaths, nice engagement of the bandhas. Beautiful. Let's release the hands, bring them down, come down onto the floor, and let's come all the way down onto our backs. And let's bring those legs right into the chest. And just hug yourself and rock around a little bit. Just enjoying moving in your body. Keeping that breath flowing. Let's keep that right knee in. Let's take it out a little bit. So it's coming in towards the right armpit. And let's take the left leg straight out. Go off my mat. Perfect. My left leg is pressing down into the earth. Now I take this right knee and I'm pulling it in towards the right armpit. So 2 lines of energy going in different directions simultaneously. Engaging the bandhas and breathe and relax in this beautiful yin energy. And releasing that left knee, bringing that left leg straight out and bringing the right knee in towards the armpit. Right leg is pressing into the earth. Left knee is coming in towards the armpit. And releasing that. And bringing the knees into the chest and rocking around. We're in our yin part of our practice because we're just warming down. Not a lot of effort. Just allowing ourselves to prepare for our savasana where we're going to go deep yin, deeply in. And let's do a couple more poses. Let's do our reversed, our supta, supine pigeon. So the right ankle's on the left knee. And we're going to hug that left leg and bring it in towards the body. So feel a nice opening in the right hip. I like to do at least one hip opener every day. Tomorrow will be our hip opener flow. Just tremendous for your hips and your pelvis. All that area is so connected. And releasing that leg, and we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to rest the left ankle on the right leg, and we're going to bring that right leg into the body. We're going to hug that right leg in. Feel a nice opening on the left hip. Engage those bandhas and breathe. Bask in sensation. And a deep breath, basking in that nectar. Resting in the deep wellspring of ecstasy and peace and silence within. Let's bring those knees to the chest, walk back and forth. Let's bring up a little easy inversion. And then let's just pull those legs in towards the body. Wrap your hands around the thighs, pull the thighs in or the calves. Just bringing those legs in towards the body, engaging the bond, and let's breathe. Let's bask in that nectar. Bask in that ecstasy, just being fully present, the aliveness within you. Merging into this expanding, ecstatic energy field within you. That is you. Your permanent self. And releasing those legs. And let's go into our baby and then some releases. So bringing those knees out, feet are facing the sky. And wrap those hands around the outer edges of the feet. The back is resting on the mat. We're not lifting the back up at all. Just resting it down. And let's pull those feet in so the knees come in towards the armpits. Opening both those hips simultaneously. Engaging those bandhas, and let's bring in the prana and the life force as we bask in our felt sense of our being, fully present. You can stay in baby or move into happy baby and Anandapalasana, kicking those feet around a little bit, moving the body, hitting the cat. Rolling around in your happy baby. And if there's any other pose that you want to do, that your body feels it wanted to do and hadn't done, now's the time to do that. Do that pose. Stretch that baby or just stay in your happy baby. And we're going to bring those knees eventually so they're up. That would disturb you a little, Leander, sorry. Knees are up, feet are hip width apart, and let's move into our hula. Feeling those hips swivel. As the right hip comes up towards the right armpit, the left hip is going to be going down towards the heel. Everything's flat on the earth. The buttocks, the sacrum, not lifting anything up right now. Just feeling that nice hula swiveling, basking in those sensations. And coming back to center. And moving into hip pointers. We're going to lift one hip at a time. Point it up towards the earth. I'm just doing it very gently, not to disturb Xander. Feeling that nice little twist. coming back to center, let's move into cat, cow. On your cat, you're going to feel the spine, the small of your back is going to press into the earth. And then as you move into cow, your lumbar spine is going to arch up off the mat. Tailbone will be sticking into the mat. Moving back and forth in cat, cow. And your cat tailbone tucks under. Engaging those bandhas, breathe. Fully present to sensation and bask in that nectar. Nice, slow, repetitive movements. Flexion and extension of the spine. Beautiful job. And let's take those feet out wide. Knees are still up. And we're going to drop one knee at a time into the center. Finding your edge here. Fully present to sensation. Fully present to the inner being. One more time on each side. Keeping that breath flowing in the belly. Fully present to the self. And coming back to center, bringing those feet back together. Let's drop both knees over to one side. We haven't done a twist in this practice, so this will be our twist. Take that top leg and bring it over, all the way over to the other side, allowing that bottom leg to eventually follow. So both legs and knees are stacked on the other side. And repeating that to the other side, lifting that top knee up, bringing it over all the way to the other side, and allowing that bottom leg to come and meet it and become the top leg. And continuing this nice, slow, repetitive, wide-legged, gentle twist. Diving in, breathing into the belly. And coming back to center, let's bring those knees into the chest. One more last little release of the lower back, rocking back and forth. And then extending those legs out and resting so you're flat on the back in Savasana position. Arms can be palms up or palms down. I like to be palms up and have the feet spreading out so that I'm in an open stance. And we're resting deeply in our yin, into that womb, into that winter hibernation. For a few moments as we release and relax everything in the body, sink deeply into the earth, surrender completely. into grace. And rest in silence. I will bring you back. Beginning to breathe into the belly. Coming back into the body. Wiggling the fingers and toes. And take this time to stretch out the body. Stretching that body out, wiggling the body, coming back, moving to one side or the other. And gently coming up to a seated position. We will close this practice. So diving in and taking this time to really check in. Check in with yourself. Check in with how you feel inside. Maybe even noticing any differences from when you began practice. Just basking in your own nectar. Taking your time. All your awareness inward. Loving on your own self. Sending your heart love. Gratitude. And bring yourself back to that intention you set. Beginning a practice that you set into your fertile consciousness. And give it some attention. Maybe a little water. A little sunlight. It's already sprouted. Fertilizer with your attention. It's a picture you put into your consciousness. Bring your attention to that picture. Lighten it up. Bring more attention to that vision, that visual. And we'll close with a namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste.